Good morning. I am off to work today and I'm actually on site. So at the moment I've got a hybrid job, which is half work from home and sometimes on site. It's a Monday morning today. It's 6 a.m. So I thought I would take you with me. Now, I have not filmed a work day in the life for, I reckon it's been almost 2 years, because the last time that I did this, somebody in a hospital that I actually don't know personally, but I know their name, reported me to my line manager. So I got so traumatized by that, I was not able to film a work day in the life, which is such a shame because I feel like these videos really give you insight into what life is truly like as a pharmacist. But today I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and get into it again because, oh my god, my throat. Forgive me, I am coming down with something, and also it's just a rainy Monday morning, and also I could not sleep last night. So I have now a hybrid job where half of it is on site and half of it is at home. There's more days at home than there are on site, which makes up for the days where I am on site. But when I am on site, sometimes I'm driving up to 2 hours to a GP practice. Today is one of those days. So I could not sleep last night because I'm an anxious driver anyway. I literally had 4 hours sleep. And basically I woke up at 5 a.m. and Googled my journey. Every time I'd wake up, 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, I would Google it. And the journey duration was just getting longer and longer. So I was just so anxious. I was like, you know what? It's 6 a.m. I'm going to just go for it. So I got ready in literally 10 minutes and now I'm about to set off. But I thought, yeah, why not film a work day in the life? So I'm delivering reviews to primary care. So I go to GP practices and deliver diabetes reviews. Some of those can be done at home and some the GPs prefer me being on site. So today is one of those on-site days and I am about to drive. So it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there. And I realized that every minute that I'm filming this video, it's just delaying my journey time. So I'm going to get going, but accompany me, keep me company, keep me less depressed on a Monday, and let's go. Managed to stop at a Costa. I made it. It took me 2 hours to get here. Well, it takes me a little bit longer because I drive slower than probably the average person. But I'm so glad I made it here early because parking is also another issue. It took me 4 tests to pass my driving test. So I'm not the best driver and I'm not confident either. Why is parking such an issue? For example, in this practice that I'm in right now, they only have parking for doctors. And because I'm not permanent staff, I've been allowed to park with the doctors, but it's a really small parking area. I even have anxiety about where I'm going to park and if I can get out of the parking space. So I knew I wanted to get here early. So it's 8:15 now and my clinic starts at 9. So I feel 45 minutes is a good time to sort of arrive, and it is pouring down outside. It is such a horrible Monday, but I'm going to go in. I am going to set up my laptop, set up the computer, look at what kind of patients I've got, eat my breakfast, and then meet the patients. So the thing is, everything I ever thought was so wrong. For example, I thought that maternity leave for a start was a holiday from work. How wrong I was. Being a mom is a billion times harder than working. And I honestly thought that once I go to work and my daughter's in nursery, I'll be able to film more. How wrong I was about that too. Coordinating working full-time with nursery pickup time, with making sure that the days that I'm on site driving 2 hours away to a GP practice, my husband's working from home, coordinating all of our lives together that is another job in itself. I feel I'm a personal assistant, making sure that she's happy, making sure that someone will be able to pick her up on time, making sure that we're not late, is all just another phase of life that I've entered, which I didn't expect to be so challenging. I thought, oh well, when she goes to nursery, she'll enjoy it and that'll be that. But it took 2 months for her to settle into nursery and actually enjoy nursery. And then I was also settling into a new job, so I wanted to make sure that I'm not giving the wrong impression, because even though my daughter's number one priority, obviously I don't want to come across that I don't care about work. So I'm trying to be a good mom, a good pharmacist, a good colleague, keep up with my friends as well. That is another thing I'm finding really difficult, just managing everything. So I haven't filmed for months because I don't have a set rule for my channel anyway. As you know, if you're watching this and you've watched me over the years, I don't give myself any targets, I don't make any promises. But yeah, I just haven't filmed because I have been in the trenches of settling, trying to manage everything, trying to cope and just like balance everything. I severely underestimated the work involved. Anyway, I got a cortado today at Costa, and I'm really liking the size of it because I feel like the lattes in Costa are really watery, and I really wanted something that was like quite small but has a shot. So I got a single shot cortado today and drank it on the way here, so I'm feeling quite awake. But the 2-hour drive is just, yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful because I do get a lot more days where I'm working from home, but the days where I am on site and the rush hour traffic is just wild. So anyways, let's get going. As I say, I am really wanting to do like a video on like career updates and like how I've gone from hospital and community and locuming to primary care to now this kind of hybrid corporate/NHS style job. So I will definitely be filming that just to kind of give some more context as to what I'm doing at the moment. But let's get started with our day. If anyone is thinking of buying this, I think it's from Aldi, I would say do not. It literally tastes like hair mask. So it tastes like really coconutty, and it just literally feels like I've just shoved a bunch of hair mask into my mouth. I am not feeling this at all. Guys, this is lunch. So yesterday my husband cooked us a roast dinner, so I've brought this for lunch today, and I'm actually starving because like using my brain takes up so much energy, so I cannot wait to dig into this. Also, I'm just not going to show my face right now because I'm terrified of being reported. I looked so dead after clinic that I have just put some lip gloss on for this part of the vlog. I'm finally done. It's 4 p.m, so I can start driving now. I think it's going to take me like 2 hours or more to get back in the traffic, so the quicker I set off the better it is. I saw 14 patients today. Yeah, 14 is like quite a lot. Like I actually have a lot of sympathy for GPs because back to back 10 minutes with each patient, like, and you have to keep moving things along and make sure you're not late for the next patient and stuff. There's a lot of time management involved, so that part of it is something that I'm learning. But overall, a relatively successful day, and now I'm off back home. I honestly think that most of this vlog, like, you've spent with me in the car, but I don't know, like, I am actually terrified to film at work, so I don't know how long this video is going to take. So if I edit it and it's like less than 10 minutes, I'll try and put in a few bits and pieces of other days that I'm working to kind of show you a bit more of what it's like. But anyway, I'm gonna go home now. So today is a completely separate day to the last time that I ended the vlog. I think last time I basically had finished a day of work and just pulled into the underground car park. However, as soon as I got home, I was on duty, did the baby's bath time, my own baby's bath time, and then it's been like over a week since then. But I thought that I would film something that I'm doing pharmacy related tonight, and I am actually doing consultation. So a consultation is different to my review service. So a review service, you probably don't speak to me at all. And I've done the review service ever since I started the YouTube channel, probably like where I review your written piece of work up to 5 times for the price of £10. However, for my consultations, I am live, like on an actual consultation. So today I'm helping somebody who basically is trying to transition from community into hospital. So she's booked sort of 2 hours with me, and for the first hour, which is today, we're going to do, I've got kind of like an agenda. So the first 10 minutes, I'm going to try and get as much information out of her as possible as to like how many interviews she's had, why she hasn't sort of gotten an offer yet, and what she thinks about her current interviewing style and which hospitals she's going for, which will kind of give me an idea of how the rest of the consultation is going to go. And then after that initial 10 minutes of trying to get as much information out of her as possible, then I'm going to do probably like 20 minutes clinical. So kind of typically how you would screen a drug chart, because I feel like a lot of people who are trying to make that transition from hospital into, well, from community into hospital, find that part quite difficult. So I'm probably going to discuss sort of what kind of clinical common stuff comes up on a Band 6 interview. And then for the rest of the half an hour, I'm going to listen to her potential answers and try and improve the answers that she would give in an interview. And then for the second sort of consultation, which will be, I think, next week, we're going to do a full-on mock interview. Now, a lot of people in the past have asked me to do like an interview service, and the reason I haven't really done it is because I for a start just don't like scamming people out of their money, and if I'm not fully confident in something, then I just can't do it. So that's why I kind of said no all this time. However, now that I've like left the hospital kind of sphere of work, I feel like I'm more detached from it and therefore able to actually give my input. I just feel like a little bit more experienced in that aspect now. So that is why I'm actually doing consultations. So if any of you guys need any help to get into hospital or just some guidance in general, I can be sort of booked, try and get people where they want to go. So that is what I'm doing tonight. Believe it or not, I actually have, put some mascara on and also put some lipstick on to try and look somewhat presentable for this. I'm really run down right now. I've got a really bad cold. My throat is killing. Yesterday night, Luna was probably up every 2 hours or so. To be honest, it's my fault. Like yesterday evening, myself and my husband, we were watching Sweet Bobby on Netflix. It's this true story of this girl getting catfished for almost a decade of her life. And we got to about 20 minutes to the end yesterday night. Luna was just waking up. So we tried to put her to sleep and then watch a little bit more, and then she'd wake up again. So we tried to watch it again, and then we tried to put her to sleep, and then essentially we just gave up. But by the time that we'd kind of given up and tried to get through the rest of the 1 hour and 20 minutes that the duration of Sweet Bobby is, by the point that we kind of just gave up. Also, I'm really sorry, that is the rice cooker behind me, so it's going to get a little bit noisy. Cut a long story short, I slept late, and then Luna wakes up about 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. This morning she got up at 7 a.m, which is quite good for her. But that just means that even if I work from home and I start at 9, my work starts as soon as she wakes up. I gave her breakfast. My husband actually made her breakfast, I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna watch this and be like, you didn't make her breakfast, or did you? So my husband made her breakfast, and then he left for work. I fed it to her and then dropped her off at nursery, and now I'm sat here and it's 8:45 and I start at 9, but I like to drop her off around 8:30 just so I can have a little bit of time to myself before I get into the working day. Even if I'm working from home, I'm actually working a lot harder than I was in my previous job, because in my previous job I was doing a lot of coding. So a lot of reading secondary care letters and coding for, patients that have been diagnosed with certain diseases or put on medications or whatnot. But in this role, I have to speak to 14 patients every day for the diabetes clinic. So I have to speak to 14 minimum. The day goes by like this, which is why I kind of do like to sit here and make sure that everything's ready. Do you know what though? I'm going to actually stop filming right now because of that rice cooker. So I'm going to get on with my day and I'll update you on how it goes. It's lunchtime. I have managed to speak to 12 patients so far. So I've got a minimum of 2 to go after lunch, but I'll always try and speak to a few more. So I'm at a good place, I think, to have a break. I am going to have some kimchi stew today that my husband made for us a few nights ago, and some rice and some panchan, some food. And then I'm probably going to clean the house because it is such a mess. I've kind of given up on the idea of having a clean house now because with a baby, it's just not feasible. It's an ongoing battle. So now I've just decided to give up on the idea of having a spotless house. Usually if I have a lunch break and I manage to sort of get through the clinic as I have today, then I have like a half an hour to 45-minute lunch break. And the good thing about working from home that I found is that there's no sort of pointless office talk or small talk kind of thing. There is sometimes on Teams, but it's not too bad. There's no micromanagement either. So I'm really enjoying working for this company because as long as I get the work done and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, then all is well, which I really like, to be honest. I'm just realizing I've left my glasses on. So these aren't actually glasses, they are blue light glasses, because if I don't wear these, I get a headache. So all day screen work is not really ideal, to be honest. So I do try and sort of get a break away from the screen. I say that as I'm recording this vlog on a screen. But anyways, get your screen breaks, people, especially if you work from home. Just open your eyes, go outside. I might go get a coffee. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I sometimes look at the screen and I'm like, oh my God, I look so rough. I have changed it to a shirt now because after every clinic we need to speak to a GP and just talk about every single patient that we've spoken to today. My meeting with the GP was at 3 o'clock, but at the moment he's not answering. So I've just tried to sort of ask where he is. So I'm waiting for that response from the surgery. And yeah, had a really nice lunch. I loved my kimchi stew, had a bit of panchan, some seaweed, some cucumbers. It was a very Korean lunch, and afterwards had a nice coffee with some digestives, so it was a really good snack really. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the GP. Once I've discussed all of the patients with the GP, that's when I'll make the changes. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. Okay, so my GP meeting was supposed to be at 3 o'clock, but it ended up being at 4. So I was a little bit late to nursery pickup, but luckily my husband went to pick her up instead after he's been working in the city. And now it's approaching 5:30 and I'm off to Pilates. It was one of those things that I really struggled to get myself motivated for today because it's already dark and I'm really not feeling it, but it is the last sort of lesson in the packages that I've paid for. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to motivate myself and go. So that's where I'm off to now. It's done. It's fine. We're gonna do it. I've got 20. Just had the Pilates class. Now, let me tell you something. I am married to a man, but my Pilates instructor is one of the prettiest women that I've ever been around. Like, honestly, her figure, her personality, everything about her, she's just stunning. And there's some women out there that I look at and I'm like, oh my god, I fancy you. And she's one of them. And at the end of class today, she was like, I'll see you next week, because I normally go every week, but that's the end of my package. So I don't know, maybe I have to book more, because she told me she's going to see me next week. And I tell my husband every time when I see him at home, I'm like, I have a crush on her, and he's like, okay, cool. So look at my hair, it looks so bad. Anyways, I'm off home now. I'm gonna have some dinner, spend some time with my baby, and start the day again tomorrow.